Welcome back to the American Women Podcast. We got Austin, we got a new guest, Nick, and like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And our topic tonight is going to be Jada Pinkett Smith. I know this topic's been around for about a month now, but we like to let everybody just regurgitate and tell their little opinions about everything. So on the American Women Podcast, we get deep down into the topic. So we could start with your opinions on the Jada Pinkett Smith situation, Austin. Let's start with Austin and Nick.
Okay, so yeah, thank you everyone for joining the American Women Podcast. This is episode 17, featuring my friend Nick Rodriguez and my friend Carlos Campbell. I'm Austin Perry coming to you live here. So yeah, basically tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith feud. Everyone knows at the Oscars, the last Oscars, Will Smith got heated. He slapped Chris Rock for making fun of his wife, saying, she looked like G.I. Jane. And he looked over. At first, he laughed about it. And then he looked over, and then he could tell Jada Pinkett was offended. And she felt some type of way about it. And she had a face like, oh, I didn't like that. And then so he felt like it was his necessity, like his need to get up and defend her honor. And like walked up to Chris Rock and just like smacked the shit out of him, which was crazy. And so everyone knows the story. Everyone saw it, all the memes, everyone's seen about it. So basically like it's about like a month afterwards. Now we're about to do a deep dive, a deep analysis here on the American Women Podcast, which is basically what we do. We're just analyzing this relationship of a celebrity American woman, Jada Pinkett Smith, and her relationship with her husband, Will Smith. And we're going to talk about what really happened that night and get down to the truth, the nitty gritty about what's really going on with the situation. So thank you, Carlos, for the introduction. And so I'm going to pass it over to you, Nick, if you want to do an introduction, and then we're going to get into the topics.
All right. So anyways, my name is Nick. I don't mind saying my full name. My name is Nick Rodriguez. And this is my first experience with any podcast or anything like that. I know I got a camo jacket on and no shirt. I know I look like a douchebag or whatever, but I just got off work. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I can be at times a voice of reason, but also at at times I say what needs to be said that some people, hate it or love it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean nothing but love with anything that I say. Please don't take anything that I say offensively at all, because I'm not trying to offend a single soul on this entire earth, but at the same time, like I said, it's my first time with a podcast and everything. So I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be Nick Rodriguez. So anyways, thanks for everybody who's watching. Thanks for, thank you for Austin, and thank you for, I'm sorry, what was your name, brother?
Carlos.
Carlos. I knew it was a Hispanic name. I couldn't remember which one. Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Austin, for letting me on and everything. But yeah, I'm ready to dive right in. And do you want me to delve into the subject right now?
Yeah, just go in. Kill it.
Okay. So I think that Jada, it's difficult with me with Jada. Jada, she had that thing with Tupac and everything, what I mean? She's like she's a classic, you know what I mean? She's she's an old dog when it comes to this stuff, you know what I mean? Like she really had that thing with Tupac. They were on a whole sitcom together. I don't know if I don't think Tupac was a main character or anything like that, but he was on an episode at least. And Jada's been around like for a long time. But I think that Jada is one of those women, and I've dealt with these kind of women who are one of those women that will convince you of the craziest things that you have never thought, like that are so out of the realm of that you're even thinking of, you know what I mean? that make you think that you're going crazy because you're not even on the same level as this girl. You know, I mean, it makes you think that you're not on the same level as this girl, but really she's spitting fucking bullshit. She's spitting bullshit chopped up and garnished. You know what I mean? It looks real nice and everything, but it's a lot of bullshit, you know? And you know, full respect on Will Smith for standing up for his woman. Because a lot of people wouldn't do that. A lot of people don't have the, you know, cojones to do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he's driving himself crazy. He's driving himself crazy, and it's leading to his downfall. Look at the man. The man got barred from the Oscars for what, 10 years, I believe.
Yep,
10 years. I mean, how old is he? He's almost 50, right? So he's not going to go to the Oscars again until he's 60. Does that? I'm not sure, but does that mean that he's not going to win an Oscar? Does that mean that he's barred from winning Oscars? You know what I mean? I mean, to the acting community, an Oscar is the top thing. You know what I mean? That's the best thing you can get. I'm not sure if he's barred from winning Oscars, but he's barred from going to the Oscars, and that's a major blow to an actor's career. I don't care what kind of stage you're at. You know what I mean? And it's hard to tell, you know what I mean? Because obviously we're at a third person perspective, you know what I mean? Obviously I'm not Chris Rock and I'm not Will Smith and I'm not Jada Pinkett Smith. But what it seems to me is that she is the epitome of toxic femininity.
Oh, dang. That's deep.
That's what it seems to me. That's what it really, really seems to me. And that side of toxicity is overlooked by society. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to talk about toxic masculinity. Carlos, how many times have you heard about toxic masculinity this week? How many times have you seen posts about toxic masculinity this week?
30 times.
At least 10. At least 10.
About
right?
30.
About 30. Austin, how many times have you seen posts about toxic masculinity this week?
Too many, but I never hear about toxic femininity like you're bringing up right now.
Exactly. My point exactly.
Yo.
And to be honest with you, I mean, it takes an example to show that side of it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of examples of toxic masculinity in the world. You know what I mean? Because you know, I'm glad we had a disclaimer because you know, people might not like what I had to say, but I mean, you know, it's a man's world. You know what I mean? I mean, men, you know, I'm sorry, but men, you know, to a certain extent, run this shit, and you know, toxic masculinity is a problem. I will completely identify that. You know what I mean? I will completely identify that toxic masculinity is a problem.
True.
But toxic femininity should not be overlooked just because toxic masculinity is more prevalent.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It absolutely should not be overlooked in any way, shape, or form. I believe that woman has a certain type of hold on that man, and the only reason I know that is because I've been in those same situations. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've definitely been in those same situations where you could do everything right, and then this girl convinces you that you're doing something wrong, and you're like, okay, you know, you know what I mean? You're scratching your head, but you're like, yeah, all right, yeah, that kind of makes sense, I guess. You know what I mean? You know, girls are good at making sense out of things that don't make sense.
So you think Will is being emotionally and physically abused by Jada Pinkett behind the scenes?
I don't want to use the word abuse. I don't want to use
Manipulated.
I'd rather use the word manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
Because abuse means that, like, I don't know. I associate abuse with being, you know, she might not be like, oh, you a worthless ass bitch. She might not be saying all that at home or anything like that. But in the long run, she is like, I mean, you've heard girls talk about, oh, he verbally abused me for years or whatever. He told me what to do, and da 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 da. I think Will got caught up in that, man. Because I could get caught up in that, man. The strongest dude can get caught up in some girl who knows how to spin her words the right way, you know?
I
So
think that it's definitely possible that Will Smith has experienced abuse, whether or not you want to call it physical abuse or emotional abuse or verbal abuse. It seems to me like Will Smith is on the point of breaking recently. When you see some of his videos, like if you've seen that video recently where it came out where she started recording him, and it was something where he was in the kitchen and he was pissed off, like, oh, you can't just record me and record my reaction without asking me. And so he seemed like he was on the point of having like a mental breakdown. So but I'm with you also, Nick. You know, I don't want to necessarily say the word abuse, because like as men, we're supposed to be tough, you know, we're supposed to be able to take that and, you know, not be weak, and, you know, not have to be the one who's saying like, oh no, she verbally abused me. Because at the end of the day, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And I believe in that. And so, you know, you have to be able to be mentally tough and not let words affect you to the point to where it really brings you to a low point, to a rock bottom point. But at the same time, it could be a situation where she has some kind of blackmail on him, she has some kind of dirt on him, and then so she's continually manipulating him, like we said, to a point where he has no choice but to go along with what she says, or else you know, she could do something or bring something into the light or release something or drop something to the public to where it could like really hurt Will Smith's career. So who knows if she's dangling that over him, which could be some type of consideration. Some people could consider it a form of abuse. That could be emotionally, mentally abusing someone if you're blackmailing them, which I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying it's possible just based on the body language that Will Smith is exhibiting in some of these recent videos that came out. And then at the Oscars, the main incident that happened where he just like finally broke down and slapped Chris Rock. I mean, at what point emotionally do you have to be where on national television in front of an audience of millions of people at one of the largest watched televised events, you go up and physically assault somebody, and it's all because of a look that your wife gave you? What kind of abuse is she giving him? And who knows, I wouldn't put it past her. She might be beating him with a stick. She might go grab a hockey stick and she might be beating his legs. And you can't tell he's got bruises because he wears pants all the time. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, folks. But to your question, Carlos, I think it's very possible that Will Smith might be experiencing abuse from Jada Pinkett Smith. These American women, man, they can be crazy. You got to watch out. You know what I'm saying, Carlos?
And a question for Nick: should Will get in a divorce? So he has the kids, he has a very successful family. He's been with her, I forgot how many years. Should he get the divorce? Should he file divorce?
no. No, I don't think he should get a divorce. I don't think it's time for that yet. I think that marriage, to me at least, you know, and this is a whole different topic, but marriage as an institution, you know what I mean? Listen, I am a single 26-year-old, you know what I mean? Don't think I'm no saint or anything like that. But as far as marriage goes, you know, that as an institution, I highly respect that. And I mean that to the utmost degree. He's got kids with the woman and everything. That's the mother of his children. And I totally understand him for wanting to really, like, you know, I mean, really, like, you know, back her up and everything. You know what I mean? Because that's his woman. That is his woman. You know what I mean? No matter, I mean, I don't care if she's got a ring on her finger or not. She's got two of his kids, and he don't got kids with nobody else. That's his woman. You know, Should he get divorced from her? I don't see a reason for a divorce at this point, to be honest with you. The entanglement with the other dude.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, the entanglement with August Alsina, and all that. Yeah, that would have made me a divorcer. But off of this incident, I don't. I mean, what, he should get a divorce from her because he slapped Chris Rock? You know, she didn't tell him to slap Chris Rock. She gave him a look that she wasn't happy with it. She didn't tell him to go up there and slap Chris Rock. I mean, as far as I know, maybe she whispered to him, "Go slap Chris Rock." But I don't think. I don't. It doesn't seem like that. That's what happened. You know what I mean? But I don't see cause for a divorce. But more so than anything, Will Smith needs to find himself, because I believe that beyond his acting role and everything, he's been playing a role in his real life. You know what I mean? Like almost to the point that he like just like you said, he was laughing. Chris Rock made that joke, he was laughing. And then all of a sudden he looked over at Jada. Jada wasn't laughing. You know what I mean? Because she's got alopecia. She don't got no fucking hair on her head. And then he felt the need to get up there and go slap Chris Rock, who he knows is not going to slap him back. So I'm not going to say it's a bitch move, because he felt like Chris Rock deserved to get slapped. You know what I mean? It would have been a bitch move if he went up there and like just knocked him the fuck out. You know what I mean? But he slapped him to show disrespect. You just disrespect my wife. Now I'm disrespecting you. You know what I mean? Now you just got slapped on stage. You know what I mean? So as far as divorce goes, no, I don't see that as an answer or as like something that he should do or anything like that at this moment. With the August Alsina thing, the fact that he put her at that red, what do you call it, red table or whatever, I forget what they call it.
Red table talk.
Yeah, the red table talk or whatever, and made that man talk about the fact that she was having sex with this man, August Alsina. I'd be ready to clear the room out with an AR-15. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't do that. And the fact that she's knocked this man, Will Smith, down to that peg it just shows you that toxic femininity that I'm talking about is real. And it has broke this man, Will Smith, down. It has broke him down. It has broken him down to this. You know what I mean? It has broken him down to this. In my opinion, he's half the man that he was before. He's half the man. You know what I mean? He's trying to keep up with this relationship, with this crazy termed up relationship that Jada Pinkett has created, and he's trying his best to keep up and keep his respect and everything, and da 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 da. So he got caught up in that and felt like he had to go slap Chris Brown. He didn't have to go slap Chris Brown. Chris Brown Chris Brown is a freaking comedian.
Chris Rock. You know? Chris Rock.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I know so.
Chris Rock.
What do you think, Austin? Should he get the divorce?
It's hard to say, to be honest. I think Jada Pinkett, she's like a classic example of an American woman, and what happens in America here between American men and American women: divorce. The divorce rates are crazy. The divorce rates are skyrocketing, and before you know it, they're all getting divorced. All these marriages are ending in divorce. It seems like a theme here in America. These American women, is that the reason why? Is the woman the common denominator, or does the man have a lot to do with it as well? It's hard to say, but I think the main thing is Will Smith needs to be happy. It really comes down to, does he feel a hole within his mind and his soul, does he feel an emptiness inside? And does he have some knowledge of Jada Pinkett actually having sex with one or more men? And is she actually banging all these younger dudes? I mean, yeah, they got kids together, but I mean, if my wife is off banging other guys, and then, you know, maybe she beats me, maybe she's verbally abusing me, maybe she's got some blackmail on me and she's using it as extortion, to make me act a certain way or something. Yeah, I want a divorce. I don't want to be with this woman who's some succubus treating me like a devil woman, you know? But you know, I think that I'm with Nick on this also. I think that marriage should be treated as something sacred, and you should really try and work on it and fix it. Because a lot of these American women are getting divorced from American men. It seems like it's an epidemic, is the divorce epidemic happening in America. So that's not a good thing. So I think on the one hand, he should try and work it out. But on the other hand, you know, I can also see what's going on with this toxic femininity. And that would make me want to get a divorce. So I'm kind of torn down the middle. So I think that's up for Will Smith to decide. But if he did, I wouldn't be mad at him. But what do you think, Carlos? Should he get divorced or no?
Yes, I think he should get a divorce because she dishonored the whole marriage from day one. There was an open relationship. And I think it was one of those situations where she liked them but never loved them. And then they
Mm,
had kids, and then, you know, they were like, oh, kids to keep the relationship together. But she's been embarrassing him this whole time. And Will
mm,
Smith has been a positive male figure. He's been leading by example. He's making a lot of movies. He even played in movies where it was trash, but he's still like humble enough to play different movie roles and stuff. And then he evolves in different movie roles. He never stayed in then one bracket. He did the Muhammad Ali movie, did the was it 7 Pounds, and then the movie he won the Oscar for. So he's evolving dynamically as in his profession and stuff. And then you got Jada Pinkett Smith just have a show just gossiping about women. She's not evolving. Their kids are doing amazing. His son was Jaden Smith has his music career and he's doing acting and stuff. So everybody's in the family honoring their family name. And then you got Jada Pinkett is this bitter bitch. And then she's
oh,
bad. she's bad at she's mad at everything, mad at the world. She got her own little issues. And then Will Smith has to make a choice. Either I'm gonna deal with this, which he doesn't have to. He's successful. He could date any girl he wants, or should he try to like fix the relationship? But I think it's beyond repair because she consistently embarrasses him. And then the whole incident happened with Chris Rock. Is Will Smith trying his best to like please her, and then now Will Smith is a tough guy now. So now he's entered the role as the tough guy. Don't say shit about Will Smith because he'll check you. So now he has to keep that same energy with everybody, with The Rock, with John Cena, all these big people that don't take shit from nobody. He's part of that group now. So will he last? So it didn't happen organically. If he went up there and then like cussed him out, or where you're like, okay, Will Smith mad, but he went up there and physically assaulted him. I'm like, oh, he's the tough guy. Welcome to the crowd. But we know about tough guys. They don't last long. They don't live long. They either in jail or dead. In
mm,
a real situation, what happened with the Dave Chappelle situation, the guy got jumped and his arm all broken stuff. That's what really happens when you walk up to somebody in a public area and slap them in the face. Security pops up and beat your ass. So I could, what's the other topics? The oh yeah, should he be arrested for doing that?
No, not at all.
I think what's the name? I don't think he should be.
If Chris Rock doesn't want to press charges, then he don't got to be arrested.
Yeah, because it's a misdemeanor. It's not a yeah, I think it's up to Chris. I think
It's not Chris Rock. I mean, bottom line,
Chris
it's
to
Chris Rock.
press charges, but it's weird because the whole time I thought this was like I still think it's a setup event because there's so many A-list actors. It's like a upscale area, you can't just go up and smack a A-list celebrity, even if you are A-list celebrity. So
Well, I mean, for the sake of the argument, I think we should keep it like it's not a setup event, you know?
yeah, because it's weird. But
Because if we sit here and talk about if it's a setup event, then I mean half the argument that we're talking about gets thrown out. You know what I mean?
so I could start with Austin. How would you handle that situation? How should a man handle that situation? You're with your wife and you're at a formal event, and then this guy clowns your wife for her looks or whatever. It's a lighthearted joke, and she gives you that look like you're gonna let him talk that shit. What would you do in that situation?
I would just brush it off. No big deal. It's not going to affect me. Obviously, like I said, Will Smith is like a broken man because he really reacted viscerally to the situation. Whereas someone who's in control of their emotions and has mastered their mind to a degree of great strength would not react in such an impulsive way as Will Smith did. Because I'm really of the belief that you don't act violently offensively, you only use violence defensively. Because I think that the best way to win a fight is to diffuse the situation with your words and not have to fight at all. And you should only really use your fists and your feet to defend yourself if you're attacked yourself. But like I said, sticks and stones. I mean, yeah, he made a joke about G.I. Jane, but I mean, no big deal. I mean, just brush it off, you know what I mean? So that's how I would have reacted. I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I think that in that exact situation, I mean, obviously he laughed at it beforehand, right? Right when the joke was told, he actually had what looked like a real laugh. You know what I mean? It looked genuine, like a genuine laugh. And then he looked over his wife, and she didn't like it. And then he got upset. To me, obviously, Chris Rock didn't mean anything by it, right? I mean, any one of the viewers can tell that Chris Rock wasn't like, "Fuck you, Jada Pinkett, you got a bald head." You know what I mean?
Yeah, he said, "I love you to death, Jada," but so it's all love.
But you like G.I. Jane. You know what I mean? Like it was meant to be a joke. So the way I would have handled it personally, being the man that I am today, and I'm only 26, so I got a lot of growth to do. But I would have let it go at the moment, and I would have approached him backstage, and to be honest with you, I probably would have told him, "Listen, apologize to my wife to her face right now, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you." You know what I mean? And I would have told him that, looking dead in the eyes. And he took it to a point to if he would have done that, he wouldn't have got kicked out of the Oscars. It sounds crazy when I say it, right? But to be honest with you, if he would have done that, he wouldn't have got kicked out of the Oscars. The only reason he got kicked out of the Oscars is because he did it on camera. You know what I mean? The whole world could see it. And everybody's like, "Oh, Will Smith's crazy." You know what I mean?
And they actually know each other, so it wasn't like he wouldn't be able to meet him or see him or confront him. They actually know each other.
They know each other, and and I'm sure they have a long history together. They're both OGs when it comes to that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I would have approached him backstage, and I'd be like, "What's up, Chris Rock? Listen, you need to apologize to my wife right now and never tell another joke like that, or I'm gonna smack the shit out of you right now." You know what I mean? And then the Chris Rock I seen, he would have shake your hand and not told another joke like that.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
would apologize. He'd be like, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to do that." But
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole thing with me is that it's very obvious that Chris Rock did not mean any harm by saying that. You know what I mean? My thing is, if somebody if somebody disrespects me, it's got to be intentional, or else I'm not really that upset. You know what I mean? I don't think it was intentional. I think that he was a comedian looking for a joke.
I agree.
he was a comedian looking for a joke, and he found one there and thought that, you know, it wasn't as offensive as it obviously was, you know, and then it happened like that. But yeah, that's the way if I was as mad as Will Smith seemed to be, that's exactly how I would approach it. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone wants. I mean, y'all act like these people don't see each other backstage. He didn't have to do it on stage. You know what I mean? He could have very easily been like, "Let me go backstage." You think anybody's gonna stop Will Smith from going backstage to the Oscars? Nobody's gonna stop Will Smith from going backstage to the Oscars. If he says, "I want to go backstage and talk to Chris Rock," nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, well, you're not allowed there, Will Smith." You know what I mean? Like he can go backstage and talk to Chris Rock. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to slap him front stage. You know? I mean, and that's, I don't know if he wanted to make a statement by doing it front stage or whatever, but me, that's the way I would approach it. I mean,
why I say I think the emotions just took him over, because yeah, that's the more logical thing to do, like you said, but he just saw red. He just didn't even think to be like, oh, well, I should probably do this, you know, behind closed doors, behind stage.
yeah, and I understand that. And I understand that, you know, and I even understand being like, you know what? Well, he's gonna punk my wife on stage. Well, I'm gonna punk him on stage. You know what I mean? And I understand that mentality too. But the thing is, Will Smith is not that guy. He don't think he actually doesn't think like that. You know, I've never seen him at least seem like he thinks like that. Like oh, I'm punk you on stage since you punk my wife on stage. And the craziest thing is that nobody even thought that he was punking his wife on stage. It wasn't even like that big of a joke. You know what I mean? It wasn't that crazy of a joke.
And he joked on everybody equally.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, Will Smith is not the biggest comedy actor there ever was, but he's got to at least understand the art of comedy. You know what I mean? And the fact that you can roast somebody and it don't mean nothing. You know, it's not nothing personal. You know, but yeah, man, I think that girl's got. I think that girl's got him by the nuts, dude, and she's pulling him real hard.
But I'll tell you my take, because that's the next topic on be or whatever. But what I would have done in this situation, especially if it's a comedian or whatever, and I know he doesn't mean any harm, I would have laughed, and I would have saw her. She would have gave me that look, and then I've been like, "Come on, let's go." We would have left or whatever. Then everybody would have been like, "What's wrong with them?" or whatever, because it's weird. The weird dynamic in relationships and marriage, you actually become one person. Both of y'all combine each other personalities and stuff. So whichever way I go, she has to go, and whichever way she go, I have to be considerate in her feelings or whatever. And then let's talk about it and then go that way. So me knowing somebody I've been married to for that long, and then she give me that look, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, let's go, because I'm gonna embarrass myself or get arrested for fighting or arguing. And so, because I hate the example that was set at the Oscars where you could just walk up to a stage and slap a comedian and stuff and then just walk right down. That's not realistic. In real life, when people talk shit about people, girl and stuff, somebody either gets knocked out or killed or jumped or arrested and stuff. It's real violent when dealing with different relationships and stuff. That's why I don't really be messing with people, girlfriends or wives and stuff or whatever. I try to remain respectable, because people will kill over their loved ones, over the little shit, over just talking, over disrespect.
My whole thing is that I'm sorry, Austin, but my whole thing is that it didn't allow for that type of behavior. You know, well, what he said did not allow for that type of behavior. I mean, he like she said, like Chris Rock said, like, that she fucked, 35 different dudes or something like that. I mean, he made a joke that was kind of like hard. Of course, obviously, she's sensitive about her hair. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was so obvious that he didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean? It was so obvious. And Will Smith wanted to get up there like he's Tupac or something like that and go up there and slap him and everything, and it was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw a lot of flag. I just saw a lot of flagging. Like this dude's just straight. I mean, this dude's just acting like he's something that he's really actually not. You know.
So I could go back to Austin. Is Jada Pinkett wearing the pants in a relationship? Because her name is Jada Pinkett Smith. Usually in marriages, it'd be Jada Smith, but her ego has her saying Jada Pinkett Smith. So is she wearing the pants in a relationship? Because that's interesting.
I think JPS is definitely wearing the pants in this relationship. It's a weird dynamic between this American woman, Jada Pinkett Smith, and this American man, Will Smith, where I think Will Smith wants to be the more dominant one in the relationship and wants to be the one who's calling the shots and kind of has more control over his woman. But that's not what we see, especially at the Oscar incident, where all she literally had to do was give him a look. And just like a trained dog, he responded with what I guess was what she wanted him to do. But it's hard to say. That might not have even have been what she really wanted him to do. But maybe he thought that, oh, well, this is what my wife is expecting from me, for me to get physical and violent with this guy because he made fun of me. It's hard to say, but I think that definitely based on the evidence that we can see, just within the little bit of the view that we get of the relationship, because a lot more of the story is not known to the public. A lot of this is kept secret, and we only know what we see, in media publications, on social media, and different videos that are released. But from what I can see, definitely there's a lot of toxic femininity going on. I think Nick's right. Jada definitely has Will by the balls, and she's pulling and twisting and stomping and biting on them. And to the point where his nuts are just shriveled up and it's just an empty sack. And at this point, it seems like JPS is definitely wearing the pants and Will Smith is wearing the dress. And it's kind of a sad situation to see, but that's the state of affairs here in America with these American women who are just running wild and trying to control their men. And so all the men watching this podcast, the American Women Podcast, episode 17, put the pants back on and wear the pants in the relationship. Don't let the situation happen like what's happening to Will Smith, where JPS is totally wearing the pants and being the dominant one. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Nick, what do you think about, is she wearing the pants, or am I right or wrong?
It's a little too far away for me to say whether she's wearing the pants or not. But at the same time, from what I've seen, wearing the pants, it's hard to find what wearing the pants means. I think that she influences his decisions more so than what a normal male would be comfortable with. As far as wearing the pants, I think that she at least gives him the illusion that he's wearing the pants. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I think that she's I hate to talk about things that I don't know for facts. You know what I mean? But from what I've seen, from what I've seen, it seems like she's the type of woman that is conniving, very under the table, very, throwing some doubt in your face, but like halfway putting it there and then not saying anything about it again. You know what I mean? And I think that I think she's wearing the pants as much as Dick Cheney wore the pants with George Bush's presidency. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she ain't actually wearing the pants. She ain't actually got the pants on. You know what I mean? But she put the pants on George Bush. She put the pants on Will Smith. You know what I mean? Maybe she ain't wearing them, but she seamed up the pants, made the pants and all that, and then she put them on Will Smith. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if that metaphor is working as best as much as I hope it would. But what I'm trying to say is like, I don't think that Will Smith is the type of person that would just let somebody just wear the pants. You know what I mean? But I think that he's been deceived and connived into wearing pants that ain't his.
So so is Will being held hostage in this toxic relationship? And if so, how does he escape this situation?
He needs to find himself. If Jada Pinkett Smith went to Will Smith and said, listen, I need 3 months completely by myself, away from this family and all that. Y'all got the money and everything. It don't matter if I'm not here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, you gotta take care of the kids or whatever. First of all, the kids are grown. And secondly, they got enough money to where it don't matter how old those kids are. I mean, they'll be okay. If Jada Pinkett Smith went up to Will Smith and said, listen, I need 3 months and I ain't gonna talk to you, and you know, I need some time to myself. He'd be like, okay, Jada, if that's what you want, you know. But I think Will Smith needs to hit her with some of that. Will Smith needs to hit her with some of her own medicine. To be honest with you, if I'm using my complete instinct, you know what I mean, and I hate talking off of straight instinct because I got no facts to back it up, and I could be completely wrong. But if I'm talking off of straight instinct, I think that Jada Pinkett Smith is getting over on this dude and is making this dude her dog on a leash. You know what I mean? And I could be completely wrong, but I think that Will needs to hit her with some of her own medicine. Listen, I'm going to Nepal or I'm going to freaking Indonesia for 2 weeks by myself. And you found myself. You know, Jaden and freaking Willow they're straight. You know, they're I mean, what are they, like 25 now? You know what I mean? They're straight. They're straight, you know, they're straight, and you're straight, obviously. You know, I need 2 weeks by myself. I think that he needs to make a little more power moves. I think he needs to make a little more power moves. I think he needs to throw the basketball to her and hit the bench for a minute. You know what I mean? And I think that she might learn to appreciate him more. And at worst, she learns that she don't love him. And the thing is that from what I get from the relationship is that he don't want her to figure out that she don't love him. You know? And that's really sad, dude. That's really sad. You know, because I've been in situations where it feels like, oh, if I threw the ball to this girl, she ain't gonna, you know, she's gonna figure out, oh, I don't need him, you know. but that's what he needs to do. Sometimes you gotta nut up and just throw her the ball. Go hit the bench for a minute. See how she acts. You know?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely possible that he's being held hostage, like you were saying, Carlos, because why would he be acting the way he does, and why would he be seeming so desperate? It seems like Will Smith's hitting a low point in his career. He's always been so confident. Now he seems like a timid mouse. As far as how does he escape, I definitely agree with Nick on this. I think he should probably just take a long vacation. He could always pull a Kim Kardashian move and just release a sex tape. And then that would be a big scandal. That would be kind of vindictive though and revengeful. So I don't know if that's the best situation, or he could just get a new girlfriend, and then the tabloids, you know, the paparazzi see him out in public with some new girlfriend. But I think what he really needs to do is just man up, find his balls that Jada Pinkett has been stretching and destroying, get his balls back, and then just file for divorce. And just tell her straight up, listen, it's not working out. We gave it a good run. but you know what? Hit the road, pack your things, and I don't want to hear from you no more. And that's probably the best thing that Will Smith could do. That's the best way he could escape from this crazy American woman that's tormenting his life. I mean, what do you think, Carlos? Is he being held hostage?
Allow me to interject for a minute. Allow me to interject for a minute. I don't think that he needs to go find another woman. I don't think that another woman is the answer, the solution, or anything like that. You know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from and everything, and it sounds like the right idea. You know what I mean? She was hooked up with August Alsina and all that. You know what I mean? And that does sound like the right idea. But to be honest with you, it ain't even about that. Jada Pinkett Smith can get a lot of dudes. She can get me, honestly. but what I'm saying is, like, she knows that he can get a lot of girls too. You know, it's not about girls. It's not about girls. It's not about women. It's not about none of that. It's not about that. It's about loyalty. It's about the commitment that you've made. You know what I mean? He doesn't need. He doesn't need to show her up by going to get another girl or whatever. I mean, to me, that's almost childish. You know what I mean? Like. He needs to take a break from he needs to walk away from the entire situation, from her and all that, and just let her know what she's missing out on. I mean, how's your life without me? You know what I mean? That type of thing. You know what I mean? And if her life is good without him, okay, well, I'll hit the road. You know, it's not about no other woman, or he doesn't need to release a sex tape or anything like that. I mean, to be honest with you, to me, that seems childish. That seems very, very childish. You know, and I'm sure he could do it. He could do it very, very easily if he wanted to, very easily. And I mean, I could do that very easily. You know what I mean? Like I know he could do that very easily. You know what I mean? For sure, with somebody way better. I mean, like, just with some crazy looking girl. You know what I mean?
That would be an easy way for him to make the front page and for him to get his name back in the news cycle again, which seems like all these celebrities want to do.
I don't think he wants that kind of publicity. We're talking about Will Smith, man. We're talking about Will Smith. There ain't nobody in this generation, in last generation, in the generation after us that don't know who Will Smith is. I mean, he's covered 3, if not 4 generations as a household name. You know what I mean? I don't think that women is the answer.
Well,
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but with him being hostage in a toxic relationship, I think it's both. I think she's holding him hostage and he's holding himself hostage. So I think it's weird with their relationship. It's an open relationship. Even in the tabloids, when was it? Like a few weeks ago, that was like they're in a partnership. They're not in a marriage or whatever, which is stupid. So I think the way he could escape this situation is demand that they only be with each other together, because a marriage isn't an open relationship. A marriage is a wife and a husband. But the thing that I think the reason why they had the open relationship is because she has a high sex drive, and then I guess he not really crazy about sex and stuff like that. So I think that's why he just let her free, let her roam and do whatever she want to. But she felt as a woman in the marriage to be more discreet or whatever. She never kept her discretion, versus if Will Smith banged like 60 girls, we would have never known about it because he remained discreet. So I think he needs to have a traditional marriage where it's not going to be no open relationship or whatever, and then see how that works out. If it don't work out, then just leave her, because there's 100 million women in America. So he could find somebody that matches his sex drive, where there's plenty of women that don't like to have sex that much, and then he could start over from there. But I think the whole her high sex drive is the number one issue.
Well, let me ask you, Carlos. Would you be in an open relationship with your wife? With your wife?
No.
Austin.
No, I don't really like to share if I'm gonna be in an actual committed relationship. I'm kind of more of a jealous type, to be honest.
Yeah. Any kind of committed relationship that I will ever be in, and I put this on no, never. And
Right.
she probably, in my opinion, Will Smith, from my, and you know, we're not speaking on facts at all. Like I said, I'm only speaking off instinct. From my instinct, Will Smith never seemed like the person that would be into that off the jump either. She probably talked him into that too.
Tricked him.
And that's where the toxic femininity comes into play from the very beginning. From the very beginning. You know what I mean? The toxic masculinity is telling a girl, "Oh, yeah, I love you and everything, but yeah, but we should be in an open relationship because I want to fuck all these girls or whatever." You know what I mean? And it goes the opposite way when it comes to Jada and him. You know what I mean? She probably told him she wanted to be in an open relationship. I really actually doubt that Will Smith wanted to be in an open relationship. I actually really doubt that, and I got no facts to back this up or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems like this dude is so in love with this girl that he wants to justify anything that she's saying, right? Any kind of ideal that she brings to the table. You know what I mean? And it sucks, man. It sucks because I know exactly what he's going through, and I've never been as deep as he is. He's in deep. He's in really, really, really deep. And I mean, in deep to the point that he went and slapped somebody on one of the most famous stages ever in the history of, I mean, literally in the history of humankind. That's one of the most famous stages ever. This dude went up, this dude went up there and acted a fool. That's crazy. That's crazy.
We got like two more subtopics, but I could start with Austin or whatever. Do you think Jada Pinkett really have alopecia?
It's hard to say. For me though, just looking at Jada Pinkett Smith's hair, it looks like she just has a buzz cut. And I have actually researched alopecia on Google Images, and it seems like it's more like spotty, like hair falling out, kind of like a Dalmatian's fur pattern where there's like just patches falling out. It's not like it's all the same length. It seems like JPS just took like a number one on the guard and just buzzed it into where it's all completely even length. That'd be really weird to have alopecia where it's just completely falling out in an even pattern. So it seems a little sus if you ask me, but I could be wrong. Maybe she has a rare case of alopecia where it all falls out completely evenly, even though there's really no medical documented case of that ever happening before. So a little bit suspect, but I'm not a medical doctor, so I can't say definitively. What do you think, Nick?
I think she has alopecia.
I'm not touching it.
I do. I absolutely think she has alopecia. I mean, not many women would just buzz their head like that, and I've actually heard of her having alopecia years before this. So I do believe that she has alopecia. I do believe that she is losing her hair for some kind of medical reason or whatever. I don't discount that. I don't discount that. At the same time, though, she's a celebrity. She's making millions of dollars. Bald head or not, to be honest with you, she is sexy. So, I mean, it ain't that big of a deal. I mean, the dude made fun of her, and it was extremely mildly offensive. Extremely mildly offensive. You know what I mean? For somebody with alopecia, the dude didn't deserve to get slapped.
One thing I will say also is, for a lot of women, that's actually a hairstyle, is to just have bald or just like a little bit of stubble or like very short buzz cut. That's actually like a style that a lot of women rock. Look at like Amber Rose. There's countless other celebrity women who I could list. And so that's actually considered like a sexy hair look, is to have like a bald head on a woman. And then also she could just wear wigs if she wanted to. So I mean, there's really no shame. I don't know why she's so offended by having short hair where other women are proud to have short hair or would just wear a wig. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
I understand, but let me interject. Listen, look at this. Look at this. I'm losing my hair. See that? I got a receding
I
hair.
think I got you beat, buddy.
Hey, brother, I ain't gonna call you out. Listen, you got me beat. But look, I'm losing my hair too, right? It's a sensitive topic for me. I had thick Cuban hair my whole life. And, look, I got a receding hairline and my hair is thinning on top. You know what I mean? One of my best features my whole life was always my hair, So her missing hair, if she says it, and to be honest with you, no girl shaves their head unless they have like some family member that has cancer or something like that, and they're doing for some kind of like social justice type thing. No woman just shaves their head like that. You know what I mean? So I believe she has alopecia, and it's probably something that she is a little bit sensitive to. You know what I mean? The dude made a joke, and maybe it hurt her feelings a little bit. He didn't deserve to get slapped in the face, though.
Nah. I will say, though, a receding hairline makes you look more distinguished. And it's actually a turn on for a lot of American women. They love it. So there's that.
I hope so.
Got beards, so y'all good. Y'all got the beards. I ain't got no beard. Y'all good. But the last topic is gonna be a crazy topic. I'll send y'all the link after this because I didn't really click on it because it's tabloids, Hollywood gossip. But it was a rumor that happened like a week or 2 weeks ago. Did Chris Rock have sex with Jada Pinkett in the past?
Yeah, I saw this topic on the like when we're preparing. No, I don't think so.
What do you think, Austin?
I won't know for sure. But like we say, we're just talking on instinct. I would say that it's highly probable because a lot of these Hollywood mansion parties, all the celebrities are having orgies with each other. I wouldn't be surprised if, Chris Rock came around the corner and he saw JPS and he's like, meh. And then they, go in one of the rooms and, bang each other. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would say it's probably 90% chance that JPS and Chris Rock have banged in the past. But hard to say, maybe not. But from what I know about Hollywood celebrities is they've mostly all fucked each other. So probably yes, if I had to just say on instinct.
It's weird. I actually think he did because the average person look at Chris Rock and be like, "Oh, he's goofy. He can't get no girls." But comedians get girls, so it's easy for a comedian to get girls. But There's a Naomi Campbell. No, what's her name?
Naomi Campbell. She looked good.
Nia Long. Nia Long was on a talk show and she told the embarrassing story where Chris Rock turned her down. So you talking about Nia Long in the 90s. So I'm like, dang, if he had a chance with her, and then she was like hitting on him and stuff like that. And then Jada Pinkett look in the 90s or whatever. So I think they did. I think it's a high probability just by him being a comedian and him having history with Nia Long trying to holler at him. So you never know. But that sums up the episode. It's good. We finished in under an hour. And then we'll clip it up into little clips and stuff so y'all can get a little preview, because a lot of people have short attention span. That's okay. Should I be watching like 1 hour, 2 hour long videos on YouTube?
Yeah, man. I watched it. Joe Rogan and all that. Takes a long time, you know. But yeah, I think we covered a lot and everything. You know, I would like to get into the more broad topics that we were talking about when it comes to, like, me and Austin were talking about how the overall relationship type of thing, instead of talking about celebrities and that type of thing. You know, I feel like I have a lot of insight when it comes to that type of stuff. But I really enjoyed the conversation. And
Absolutely.
yeah. And I really enjoy the the only problem I have with this type of thing is that, you know, when it comes to Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, I don't know them people.
Yeah, so it's all speculation.
Exactly. Speculation. That's the best word. It's all speculation. I don't got nothing to say about this. I mean, yeah, I can talk if you want me to talk, but when it comes down to it, it ain't really my.
All right. Well, definitely you can come back on episode 18 and we can talk about more general topics concerning American women and relationships.
Yeah.
And we can get into a lot of more of those topics. Thank you so much, Nick Rodriguez, my good friend, for coming on here on the American Women Podcast with your host, me, Austin Perry, and my co-host, Carlos Campbell, here on this episode 17 edition of the American Women Podcast, where we're doing a deep dive, analyzing and breaking down the situation which happened between Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Chris Rock. Another classic example of toxic femininity, and another classic example of an American woman and how she's interacting with American men. There's a lot to be learned from this topic. For everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. Definitely like this video, subscribe, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, please. Definitely go on Facebook. Hey, Nick, I like that face you got there. That's cute, bro.
Where can we find you, Nick? For that IG. Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me Manolo underscore Tony. MANOLO underscore NO underscore TONY.
And we'll
That's
put
my Instagram
down in the description. We'll put your link down.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And definitely check out my website, austinperry.org. That's PARRY. You can find all of my artwork and video content there. And follow us on Instagram, the American Women Podcast Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, the American Women Podcast. This is episode 17 in the books. We'll definitely have a lot more content coming to you, discussing and analyzing the psyche of the American woman. And we'll be talking about relationship advice, dating advice. And we've got a lot more content to come, so stay tuned. Check us out in the next episode. Carlos, anything else to say as we close out here?
Yeah. IG, Mechfriza, MECHFRZA. And just remember, American Women Podcast is a troll-free zone, so we stand on everything that we believe and say because it's our opinion, and we have a right to have our opinion. And you also have a right to state your opinion and come on our show live. It's like 12, well, it's 1 a.m. now, but if you're up 12 a.m., you can't fall asleep, you're watching Netflix and stuff, tune into the show. We'll always have the link up on IG and Facebook, so you could just join in on Zoom.
And another important thing too, I want to announce, if anyone would like to be a guest, especially females, if you'd like to give your opinion on the American Women Podcast, please email us or get in contact with us through social media, or you can email us through the email address americanwomenpodcast@gmail.com. So Nick, any final comments?
Any final comments? It's been an absolute pleasure being here on the podcast and everything. You know, this is my first experience with podcasts, like I said before. And you know, if anybody is liking the way that I'm talking, you know, then go ahead, and I'll probably be on the next podcast, to be honest with you. So go ahead and just keep follow these boys. Follow these boys. Yeah. They're speaking real. Yeah, and that's about it.
All right, this is the American Women Podcast. We out.
Yes, sir. Hey,